Coffee. I am Jim Cuccinata, and this is the Halo Health segment. I am here with Marie Berdini today, and we are going to talk about health coaching. We're going to talk about how to live better. We're going to how to live healthier, how it's a emotional state of mind as much as a physical state of mind, and all that type of fun stuff. So welcome.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. So tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of what brought you into becoming a health coach.
Happy to. My journey to health coaching and healthy living was a very personal mission. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that. I was at a point in my own personal life where my husband and I were making a lot of choices to try to raise healthy children, age as healthily as we possibly can ourselves,
Right.
and doing things that we thought were the prescribed way to do that. You know, eating well from the food pyramid, making good choices, starting to read labels. We would work out, 5, 6 times a week, and yet weren't really feeling our best.
Yeah, right. You weren't getting the
So
results.
something was missing in that equation. Couldn't quite figure out what it was.
Okay.
And so honestly, what happened is just that through a very good friend of mine, got introduced to a nutritional cleansing program.
Okay.
We made some personal changes in our own lives, and a light bulb went off. So we personally found our missing puzzle piece, and so I loved so much how I felt. My husband kind of eventually got the bug,
Right.
and thought, this is too amazing. Everybody deserves to feel as good as I do.
Right.
And it became a very natural thing to start sharing it with others.
Sure. And it was just that organic. You said,
was.
we feel this great. We need to tell other people, and you started a business.
Absolutely.
That's
how
really
it
cool.
worked.
That's
Thanks.
very cool. It's very funny that you're talking about you were following the food pyramid.
Mhm.
There's a really interesting article that was published about a month ago that talked about sugar
Mhm.
and it talked about fats and your health.
Right.
And when the original study went out in the 1960s, both fats and sugar combined was the greatest cause of heart disease.
Right.
Well, the sugar lobbyists reacted faster than the fat lobbyists
Mhm.
did, and they got the report scrubbed that anybody only spoke about fats,
Right.
which killed like the beef industry. And
Right.
it was an interesting article talking about that. So it's interesting how the food pyramid isn't necessarily the greatest thing to follow.
It's not the holy grail by any means. It's a good guide.
Mhm.
And like anything, people need a guide, whether that's a physical one or a personal one.
Right.
Which is kind of what I do. I guide people, right? But you take a little bit of intuition, a little bit of knowledge,
Right.
and then you use that as the starting point, not the end point, I think.
Sure.
Because sugar, as you know, is in and of itself serves a purpose
Right.
in our nutrition and in our diet, but we've created a culture that unfortunately, in America anyway, we're so sugar and salt
Right.
addicted without even knowing it.
Exactly.
Crazy.
It
Yeah.
really is. And obviously, coaching falls in a lot of different areas, right?
Yes.
So when you're coaching the whole person, where's like the first layer? Where do you start
Mhm.
with it, your assessment, so to speak?
Yeah, the first layer, we get kind of personal, to be honest, because for me to do my job well and effectively and give them what they deserve, I need to know who they are and what makes them tick on the inside.
Right.
Because it's a very unique thing when you're coaching someone. So I will talk to them about their lifestyle and disappointments and aspirations and goals, and how they're feeling about themselves. And through doing that, it's much like interviewing someone.
Right.
I get clues about what makes them tick and where they might have walls built up and barriers, because it's very much a mental thing. And so
Right.
that's where it all starts, so I can understand, are we dealing with, kind of a situational thing, like a lifetime identity
Right.
of something that they're dealing with, and then that helps me understand how I can help them break through.
Sure. So once you kind of get to understand the mental aspect of the person that you're working
Yeah.
with, then the physical becomes a little bit easier, I would imagine.
It does.
Because goal setting is
Mhm.
huge, right?
Yeah, and see, that's our baseline then, right? And then as I'm working with them, they have that tough day, that tough moment. That's all we're going to allow it to be. It's not going to be,
Right.
a whole bad day or a bad, week. So I am able to bring them back to they're kind of, why am I doing this? You know, we
Right.
talk about this why with a capital W,
Yes.
but that's really important, and I'm able to bring them back to that, reignite
Right.
the aspiration.
It's funny because the why is so hard because is always the answer, right? As you're breaking down each
Right.
person's why,
Mhm.
right? He always answered because.
Right.
It's the longest session because once you get down to those 5 or 6 deep-rooted, core values that a person has,
Right.
then it's easy to build up from there. But I would imagine that a lot of your coaching is encouragement based with this. So
Right.
it's you can do this. It's not necessarily step on the scale, congratulations type
Mhm.
things, but it's more of that, we're in this together and
Right. It all goes hand in hand as I see it, because while some people do have a physical goal they're trying to reach, I by all means de-emphasize, the stepping on the scale. Do they weigh? Yes. Do we measure? Yes, absolutely, because you see some surprising things.
Right.
How the body composition changes as you make lifestyle changes.
Sure.
But it's also the motivational aspect, as you just pointed out. I have the ability through a 3-decade career in executive HR to really coach people and tap into that aspect, so I can essentially pour motivation and belief into them
Right.
until they can have it in themselves. But I also, when I can recognize that that's what's needed on a given day, I can be their accountability partner.
Sure.
And I can be the little bit of a tough love person, and hold them accountable to themselves when that's really what's called for.
Sure. Absolutely. How do you focus on nutrition?
Now, nutrition is an aspect of the coaching that goes along with it. I utilize a nutrition program. I'm actually partnered with a global health and wellness company. So what we do is incorporate some amazing products into their daily routine. And then I coach them on how to effectively use those products and which products to use based on what their particular goals are,
Mhm.
as well as I do some education and guidance. We do everything from, let's go through your shopping list, how do you pick the right things in the produce aisle,
Right.
and what's a good carb versus a bad carb. A lot of people have some kind of innate knowledge about those things, but just need that little bit of extra.
Right. Give a little push.
Absolutely.
Excellent. I'm here with Marie Berdini, and we're talking about health. And when we come back after these messages, we'll dive into kind of nutrition and how to eat better and eat smarter and live healthier. So we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I'm Jim Cuccinata. I'm here with Marie Berdini, and we're talking about health. The first segment, we talked a little bit about health coaching, and we talked a little bit about nutrition and just touched on it, but we want to dive a little bit deeper into it, right? We were talking during the break about nutrition, and we were saying there's a room for everything.
Yes.
Which is not what most people tell you, right?
No, I mean, obviously, there are people who have medical contradictions to certain products. For example, they need to restrict gluten from their diet, or they have sugar sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a place to incorporate that. But as an overall premise, when I work with my clients, what I show them is that actually all these things need to be a part in balance of our healthy lifestyle and of the nutrition that we take into our body.
Right, so it actually, when working with you, it kind of makes the whole lifestyle change a lot easier because there's not a don't eat list. There's a eat less of list.
Right.
Which, why don't we talk a little bit about how that would kind of work with the person?
Sure, absolutely. When I first begin working with a client, I understand, we kind of walk through what their typical food intake looks like. Then I can understand where to steer them.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, one of the things that I work with people to do is rebalance their body. A lot of us are out of balance without even knowing it, or we wonder why there's inflammation and constant fatigue, brain fatigue, as well as physical fatigue. And it's a lot of times because we've overloaded our body with toxins.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first thing we do is bring that into balance by detoxifying the body through a cellular cleansing process. So in addition to utilizing good nutrition and supplementing where appropriate, we also incorporate a portion of intermittent fasting with our program so that am able to help people release hidden sources of sugar in their body. Not that sugar is bad, but it's
Right.
stored
Mhm.
far too frequently when it's
Absolutely.
not needed. And also help the liver and other organs do their bodies to detoxify our systems
Right.
from environmental stressors that are from the smog, that we breathe. You got the exhaust from the car in front
Right.
of you, to things we honestly do to ourselves.
Sure.
To kind of damage that.
Okay. And how long does the initial detox typically take?
Honestly, person to person, of course it's different,
Right.
but I would say often 30 to 90 days.
Okay.
Really just depends on how quickly each person's body reacts.
Sure.
Sometimes it's very noticeable. Maybe that comes with a slight, maybe my head feels a little bit off today or whatever. It's your body talking to you. We
Right.
learn to read those signals. And then as we work together to get closer to whatever their goal is, whether that's healthy weight release, getting their energy back,
Right.
healthy aging, or frankly just kicking it out better in the gym.
Sure.
As we get them closer to those goals, then we start to be able to modify and tweak again what their program
What
is.
their program is.
Yes.
That's excellent. It's interesting. I know a little bit about the detox programs, and
Yeah.
it's fascinating to see in 30 or 60 or 90 days how fast the body actually does change, and you could see a transformation. I think I was reading something that said that a person can see in 30 days a change, and the world can see in 60 days.
Right.
So
Yes.
it's interesting. It's something that you need a coach for, because it's very discouraging when no one comes up to you after you lost 10 pounds and said, "Oh, you look great," but you know what?
They can't
That's
figure out why.
Why, exactly. So that's kind of cool. And then once they've gone through the initial 90-day program, what's the ongoing maintenance look like?
Maintenance, again, it's customized to the person, and that's really my standard answer, because it's what does it mean to you to keep you feeling the best. So my clients will discover through the initial use of their products what makes their body feel the greatest. And there are some staples, trust me. Things that people say, I never want to go another day without this in my body. We have this adaptogen drink we have every morning that is amazing at lifting brain fog, making you feel more naturally alert, balancing out cortisol levels from elevated levels of stress.
Right.
I know without a fact that most of us will not go a day without having that in our body. But then, again, as I say, when that goal's been reached, then we can look at a maintenance plan that allows them to continue to utilize their favorite products and still enjoy all the other treats that they like, especially this time of year with the holidays coming up and whatnot.
Which is actually a really good topic to talk about is how do you coach people through the next 4 weeks?
Yes, it's a hot topic right now, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because I have some people I've talked to, they'll often say, well, after my kid's birthday party,
right,
after Christmas, after, whatever holiday they're going to celebrate, there's always something, right?
Absolutely.
I say, why wait? Because why would you want to wait one more day to feel the best you can possibly feel? And I know, without a doubt, I feel very confident that I can help them navigate through the birthday parties, the holiday parties, the special occasions, the date nights.
Sure.
Because it's the lifestyle. I don't want anybody to live in a box. This is about people embracing good nutrition, good healthy life choices as a part of their life, not one and done, I'm finished with that now.
Right.
Because then those old habits, if you let them come back, you will be right back where you started.
Sure. And it's also funny, too, because the holiday season's a little bit rougher because there's a lot more things going on. But the excuse of my birthday party or something like that, that's kind of funny, right? I mean, that's a one-day cheat. I mean, it's not a birthday month.
Yeah.
It's one day, right?
Right.
And it's hard to change that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, right, we can actually talk about that.
Great.
So I'm Jim Cuccinata. I'm here with Marie Berdini. We're talking about health and wellness, and we're going to talk a little bit about navigating the holidays and kind of jump starting so you can maximize feeling great. We'll be back after these messages. Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I'm Jim Cuccinata. I'm here with Marie Berdini, and we're talking about how to make you feel better. And we were talking a little bit about how to navigate the holidays, and you made a great point that you have to start today.
Right.
Right, because there's always a tomorrow to make you get derailed. And
Yeah.
one of the hardest things for anybody is to pick up the phone and to call a coach or email them. But you have lots of ways to kind of softly work these people into following and making that change. So what are some of the things that you're doing?
I use, obviously, my extensive network for opportunities to reach out to and meet new individuals, so that it's all about building that new relationship. You might meet someone in March, and you get to know more about them, and you start realizing you run in some of the same circles, or don't, but there's some way, life has a funny way of interconnecting you yet again. And I find that that first meeting is often not the point when, for example, an individual feels ready
Right.
to make a change. But when they are, I like to view myself as their go-to person
Sure.
for their healthy living choices. And so I maintain a social media presence, for example, so that people can kind of watch, be inspired, start to follow. I'll post healthy recipe tips. I love to share and celebrate successes from our team, from my clients, from the clients of some of my teammates, because I want people to see that this is a real world, real life solution. You're going to see men and women of every kind of background and goal setting possible out there.
Sure, and as a person who cares about your health, you start to see other people can do it.
That's
right.
right.
And that's one of the hardest steps, right?
That's right.
Is well, I saw my neighbor do it, well, I can do it, or my spouse did it, or my kid did it. And once you start seeing those types of things, right?
Yes.
Then it kind of gives that added motivation to call and to talk to somebody, because not everybody is born with the I'm going to be fit and trim and healthy gene in their brain, or wiring. They need the push, or they need the encouragement, and they should really call, because sitting around isn't going to help them.
Right. And Jim, you are so right about believing that if Sue can do it, Jim can do it, so can I. And that's what happens, and that's why I love to share the success stories, because it's not for gratuitous value by any means.
Right.
It's because I'm speaking to someone that day.
Sure.
One of my good friends and clients out in Arizona actually, shared with me a story that she watched and watched and watched what I was talking about, what we were celebrating for months, until one day she saw a particular story. It resonated with her on the inside. And that's when she reached out to me. And she's experiencing tremendous success, and also learning how to coach other people herself.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's who do you strike that one particular day,
right?
And then something beautiful can happen.
Sure. Well, it's funny, because in my house, my daughter signed up to run the Philly Half Marathon,
right? Oh,
which
great.
inspired my wife to run a 5K.
Yes.
So you could just see just something like that.
Right.
Right. So now, if everybody's deciding that they're going to be active, now the next step would be, how to be smarter with what you eat. One of the other things that is interesting, right, is that you're accessible, like 24/7. It's not it's not a call me between 9 to 5, and these are my hours. You have the ability to reach these people through social media, through direct contact, through email, through texts, through the phone, Skype, FaceTime, any way to reach, to fit inside of what their goals are. Because again, if you're dealing with people who are working from 9 to 5, it's really hard to talk to them then. So your flexibility is really a huge advantage.
I believe that it is, and having a home-based business has allowed me that ability, so that I can flex my schedule very much to meet the needs of my clients. Some of them say, you know what, let's talk on my lunch break.
Right.
Or in my car ride to work. Or, I got to talk to you after my kids are in bed for the night. And so I will bend to that, to the extent that I can, so that we can make it work for them. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you get the emergency phone call of, I'm standing in front of a dessert bar, I need to be talked off the ledge.
I do get those on occasion, yes. Help me.
Yes, help me now. Not don't tell me about the theory. I need to be talked off the ledge now.
Yes.
which is awesome. We were talking a little bit. We have a tradition on this show where you're going to look into that camera. It used to be called Camera 3, but they took the number off it, so now I'm hoping it's still Camera 3. And you're going to tell everybody who you are, what you do, and why they should care.
Great.
And the floor is yours.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
So my name is Marie Berdini, and I am a healthy living lifestyle coach. I work with individuals who are ready to embrace a whole new lifestyle, who are ready to feel their best physical self, mental self, and for the chosen few individuals also like to learn how to help other individuals do this as well. I believe very firmly through my own personal experience that all of us have that within us, and sometimes we just need somebody to believe in us before we can believe in ourselves, and that's where I come in. So through coaching you through an amazing nutritional system, guiding your selections and your choices to live that best lifestyle, I can help you achieve a physical or other goal, whether that's anything from healthy weight release to healthy weight gain, lean muscle, better performance, healthy aging, income generation if you're looking for a stream of residual income. I am happy to do all that and have a proven track record of working with clients to do just that. I utilize nutritional cleansing as the core basis of my coaching practice, and I know what it's done for me, for my entire family, and I can't wait to help you light yourself up by feeling the best you possibly can.
Awesome, that was great.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Appreciate it.
Good. I'm Jim Cuccinata. I was here with Marie Berdini. We spoke about how you can live healthier. Please give her a call or follow her how?
You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, all using the name Marie Berdini. And I can be contacted directly also at 856-986-0392.
Fantastic. This was the Halo Health segment, and we will be back to Morning Coffee after these messages.
When it's time for Jersey Mike's to give a sub some sizzle, this is the way. The way it's always been. The way it always should be. The way it always will be. Because that's just the way it's supposed to be. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
My dream job is to run and manage my own spa one day.
To be the general manager for the Jumeirah Hotel in Abu Dhabi, Dubai.
I feel that Merciers has prepared me very well for my future in the hospitality industry.
The kitchen is incredible.
You are planning the meal, doing all the costing and the recipes. You're in charge of everything going on in the kitchen.
They really do get you prepared, and they want to make sure that you have a job after college.
When it comes to injuries,
they're not all created equal.
That's why at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine,
our team of doctors will coordinate and customize your care
to provide the best treatment options using the area's most advanced medical technology.
All with one goal in mind.
To get you back in the game.
We call life.
Pain-free,
drug-free,
surgery-free. That's what we do here at Performance Spine and Sports Medicine.
Get better faster.
Stay better longer.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10 and 25%, and sometimes more. We can help your business succeed by providing reliable and secure merchant payment solutions such as merchant services programs.